Right, so we will be starting and we'll be covering chapter 9 this week as our kind of last bit of material. Before we get into the actual videos, we're going to talk about some of the variety of assignments we have at the end of this semester this week. First off is chapter 7 participation quiz, which is going to be the first 30 minutes on Tuesday, the 30th. We'll meet in the classroom like we've done for all of these. It will cover the participation questions from chapter 7. It'll only be the stuff we've done after exam 3. So you had like 2 videos on chapter 7 about like polar bonding and Lewis symbols. That material will not be on the chapter 7 participation quiz because it was already on exam 3. So it will be the material from module 8. So basically like Lewis structures, shapes, octet rules, violations, all that kind of stuff. Those questions will be covered on the chapter 7 participation quiz. I'm going to say it's assignments, the participation from June 25th and June 26th, last week's Thursday, Friday. And then afterwards, we will again do lab, the lab activity. We're going to start actually in the classroom. So lab will start at 9:30 in room 141. We're not going to be, we will go into the lab later for like a day of activity about gases. But for the start, the first lab activity will just be in the classroom. The format of the participation quiz will look and feel like the ones we've seen before. One of the ideas here is that this gives you some practice on this material for the final exam. Chapter 7 will be on the final exam, so this way you can see some questions and get some practice with chapter 7 before the final exam, because there's kind of that big like 4 weeks or 4 days of lecture videos that are going to be on the final that were not on any of the tests. So get you kind of prepared, exposed to some of that. There will be useful information. There's not much for chapter 7. There's the formal charge equation. There's the table of molecular shapes. And very importantly, there's a periodic table. So you'll use that, and you can use that information to help with the test. The quiz, I should say. Otherwise, week 5, we just have the one kind of module, which we will get into. But I got one more video about another unique assignment this week. I'll see you there.